count it down?
Un, dos, tres.
I think that worked.
Yeah, it's close. Yeah. Anyway, I left my hoodie. You know how we were like leaving for the vans, Bishop Shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, I left my hoodie in the common room, which isn't great. So I'll have to man a rescue mission tomorrow.
Yeah, you'll have to go in while everyone's like painting welcome back signs and doing decorations.
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, and just be like, and like eating pizza and talking, and just be like, "Hey, gang, not here to help, here to help myself."
I might just go in. I just might go in like after or before it.
Sneak right in. Like
It's like-
the second like Gene opens the door, you just like sneak in. It's like, oh, hello, Liam. Just sneak back out. Oh, okay.
Hi, Gene. Long time listener, first time caller. I'm looking for my hoodie, and I'm guaranteed someone's like pissed on it or something. You know,
Stop it.
I don't know. It's been there for like 3 weeks. I know no.
They wouldn't have a
there.
chance to, right?
Oh, it was the first day because I was away in
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday when you guys were back. Someone could have pissed on it because I was
Give
up
it a
in
good sniff.
I was up in Queenstown for geography.
Indeed. How was that?
Yeah, I nearly pushed John off a cliff, which is quite funny.
What was this reaction? Oh, Liam, don't push me off a cliff.
Don't know.
Oh, don't do that, Liam.
No. We had a heart to heart on the way to Fairburg, and I agreed I wouldn't push him off any more cliffs. So yeah.
If he bought you the Ferg burger.
No, it was just we were waiting in the rain, and it was like, fuck.
John, your burger or your life?
Exactly.
You decide.
Queenstown was really chill. Like the weather was a wee bit shit, and because I left my hoodie behind, I only had my swan dry as like an extra layer, and I didn't have any track pants, so I was wearing shorts. My swan dried the entire weekend when it was like 5 degrees and raining.
No layering, fresh off a absolutely robbed debating loss, and only in a swanny and shorts.
Yeah, and I also did that bungee jump on the first day. And it started off as like about 8 of us being like, okay, yeah, we'll do the bungee jump. Then by the end of it, it was just me, Hunter, and I think Riley might have done it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know that you and Hunter did because Hunter made a big stink about it. Well, I did it.
Hunter was so nonchalant about it, and I was just like pissing my pants. Yeah,
I think Hunter's done them before though.
as a fucking liar. It was like, oh, it was my first time, and I was like, okay.
It's my first time. No, there's no way, dude. Hunter, he's totally done it before. He was fucking with you.
And then we were like, who's gonna go first? And I'm like, I want to go first because if you go first, I'm gonna be like, I'll be like spending longer here waiting, thinking about it.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, Liam, I want to go first. So we did paper scissors rock, and luckily I won because otherwise.
You probably only wanted to go first after you said that too. Like you shouldn't have had the reasoning. Should have been like, "Oh, I'll go. Don't worry, guys." Like made them think they were missing out.
Yeah, and then when I got down, I was walking back up the hills of Bungee Place, and Jago, Ollie, and Campbell run down to meet me, and like Jago goes in, and he like elbows me in the face in the process and accidents. I was like, "Fuck."
Oh my god.
It was kind of funny.
Oh, dude, the elbow's like the hardest part on the human body. Jesus.
Is it? Are they going for like the kneecap, or like your or your what do you call it? What's the breastplate, whatever.
No, dude. No, it's the elbow. Like that shit gets harder.
No. Your teeth are the hardest part. It's a fact. Teeth.
Really?
Yeah.
I swear that it's elbow's hardest part of your body because like it's cool. Like they call them like diamond elbows sometimes.
No, the teeth is the strongest bone in the body. Whatever it's called.
I mean, bone, yeah. Hardest part of the body. Tooth enamel. Never mind.
You stepped into my domain, Quinn, and you got burnt.
Well,
Stupid.
It's a good thing Jagger didn't bite you in the face then. That would have been worse, clearly.
It would have been funny, though.
Liam!
So, sort of like, the Bram Stoker Dracula thing, like she gets bitten in the Romania and start off like a movie. I feel like it'd be stuff like the New Zealand Dracula. You get bit by Jago accidentally.
You get bit by a sheep.
No, Jago.
Jago is like the New Zealand monster.
Yeah.
Germany's got like Dracula. We just got Jago.
Yeah, I'll take it. Germany doesn't have Dracula, Quinn. Romania has Dracula. Germany's got Hitler as their monster.
Yikes.
People are pretty sensitive about that sort of thing. Romania doesn't have much going for it as a country. It's got a pretty shit birth rate, pretty shit life expectancy, but they've got Dracula.
No, we've got a blood-sucking monster, and they've got Hitler. Okay, there's not much difference, but there's like enough.
I mean, the Romanians fought with Hitler, which they would like to forget.
Sussy.
Yeah, then in 1945 when shit was hitting the fan, like, actually, you know, Uncle Stalin, mate, we've always been friends, and they kind of switched sides.
Damn, Romania, always on like the worst side of history, but also the best side at the same time.
Are you saying there's something good about the Nazis gone?
I'm saying for Romania, there probably was.
There wasn't.
There wasn't?
I don't know, they got strong-armed into it. Because in... This is history. In the 1930s and 40s, there was like a rise in right-wing populism, which we kind of see at the moment, and like Hitler was able to take advantage of that in all the other countries in Europe, like in Italy and shit. And like he had like friends in Romania, and like they probably weren't the majority, but they were the vocal majority. So it's hard to say. And then they had like a oppressive dictatorship for 40 years afterwards, and the leader of that dictatorship got hung by a helicopter.
Wow. So they put him on one of the rotors, just wing.
No, they attached like a noose to his head and hung it to like the wee landing pads and flew us in the air and pushed him off it.
Oh my god, and he would have been alive too.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
It's a pretty gnarly bungee jump, eh?
It's like the anti-bungee jump.
He had a really cool name as well. Romanian dictator name. It's probably
or something.
I find it cool. Yeah. How do I say that? Nikolai. I could ask my mum. Shouldn't know how to pronounce it, but how do you say that name? Korsakowski.
Nikolai Sosakyu? Nikolai Sosakyu? That'd be my guess.
So, I think it's Korsakowski. But yeah. There's another cool guy I always talk about, Sozan. He's the guy who killed JFK's brother.
Oh, fun times.
He's about to get released from jail as well.
Ooh.
We can have him on the podcast.
Round 2.
The Kennedys aren't a very good family. Like you say round 2, but there's not many Kennedys left to kill.
I mean, one of them got like taken out mentally, you know, like the one that they fucking lobotomized. If she was still around and kicking, and you took her out, I think it'd only be like half a kill, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and then
we'll give you half a life sentence because you basically put her out for misery.
Are you saying mentally disabled people are only worth half a life?
I'm saying people have been lobotomized by their family for feeling too many emotions, are constantly emotionally crippled for the rest of their lives, and live in pain.
Yeah, but like you still said worth half a life. But anyway, he also
I hate disabled people, Liam. You've caught me.
Oh, good. They also had his son started like a shit magazine, and he had like this movie star wife, and he was big into flying. Apparently, there's this thing with pilots where they forget what way's up and what way's down. I've probably told you this. I tell people a lot about this. I don't know why, but he was flying to the Bahamas, I think, or no, Bermuda, and he crashed into the ocean because he thought the ocean was the sky and that the sky was the ocean. Apparently,
what a way to go out.
It's really common, apparently.
Jesus, yeah, I can kind of imagine that though.
They're both blue, aren't they? You know how like roads?
Yeah. They
like,
blend into one.
Thing? Yeah. And like apparently, like they just have to look at this instrument, which tells them it's the right way up. But
yeah, I've heard about that before. How a lot of times when they're flying, they have to just look at like their dashboard to figure out where they are.
It also happens a lot. It also happens a lot in the Arctic, which happened with Erebus and the big ass mountain that one of our planes crashed into. And when the Soviet Union was still a thing, they couldn't fly planes across it. So instead of like taking the extra 3 hours to go down, they decided to start flying planes across the North Pole instead, which led to lots of crashes. But it was 2 hours like faster, so it was worth it, I think.
I mean, how many hours are you trading when someone fucking dies, though?
I mean, I guess like you look at like 10,000 flights a year, 2 of them crash. That's pretty good margins.
Hard to say.
I don't know. If I was a businessman, I'd say it's pretty good margins.
I was thinking of a new slogan for the podcast.
Oh yeah.
The DILF podcast, driven by spite.
Driven by spite.
Powered by spite. It's kind of like Sprite, but it's like it's spite.
Proud sponsor Spite.
You want a spite cranberry?
That's a shit name. I want to do an IRL podcast of Arch.
We could do that. We could get him down here probably.
I've got an idea. We're going to go to like a wee stream nearby my place, and we're going to put gumboots on, get like a big table and some chairs, and set up in the stream, and do like an hour of recording there.
We could do that. We just have to like hold Arch accountable for when he like accidentally dunks the fucking laptop in the water.
It's not. It depends on how much rain there's been, but it's in the middle of like the industrial wasteland I live next to. That's quite nice because it's like this like 500 meter stretch for like green. And then you've got like an abandoned car, like yard in front of it. I like it. And
I'd have to figure out how to get my camera going because my camera records for 11 minutes at a time.
Well, that's what Archer's girlfriend Lex comes into it. It's like
every 11 minutes she just presses the button again.
I reckon. I don't think she'll be keen for that, but I think Archer would be able to like strong arm her into that.
Listen here, woman. Listen here. We've driven all the way down here. You're pressing the button. Get over there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can you imagine Arch listening to this right now and screwing his face up in a ball? Like he's in the gym. He's like pumping. He's like, oh, listen to the new DILF podcast. He's hear him talking shit about his girlfriend. He's like, fucking piece of shit.
We're not talking shit about him, though, are we?
Of course not. Arch, of course we're not. Calm down, buddy. Put the phone away. You don't need to come and call us.
I'm interested to meet her though, because apparently she's really interested in politics.
Uh-oh.
And
I know what that's code for.
Arch's just been asking me all these questions like, Liam, what do you think about politics? And I give him an answer. He's like, no, but what about American politics? And I give him another answer. But what about Democrats and Republicans? She's not a Trump supporter, so I think that's fine.
That's like safe, safe enough.
Oh yeah, I like Trump supporters though. Don't like Trump, I like his supporters though. They're a very eclectic group of people. Mr. Flanagan, my barber, the people in Texas. You see that, Glenn? The $10,000 bounty.
13, 14, 15. Sorry, what?
You just whispering to yourself?
No, I was counting. How many messages I've ignored from Peru since the start of lockdown.
What? What's he been trying to talk? He started Snapchatting me again. It was just a picture of my Spotify being like, I didn't know you listened to this artist. And then, bro,
I didn't know you listened to Tame Impala. Ignored.
I like Tame Impala.
Yeah, but like, don't even tell anyone that. Apart from all our wide range of podcast listeners right now.
Well, I like one of their songs. It's from their second album.
It's not it's his, Tame Impala's. It's one dude.
Is it one dude?
It's one dude.
Oh, he's got backup, like a guitarist and shit.
Tame Impala, dude.
Oh yeah.
Can't remember what his name is though. Tame Impala, a guy. Yeah, Australian multi-instrumentalist Kevin
Parker, yeah.
And then when he does, live shows, he brings on, like his mates basically to do the rest of the
so it's like Elton John. Because like Elton John doesn't have like a band, but he's had the same like group of people he plays with like the past, I don't know, 40 years.
But when he's making the songs in the studio, it's just him apparently. So far, he's got like a guitar guy. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 other people that he performs with. Other than that, it's just him.
Awesome.
That independence. Dude, speaking of independence, fucking university. Crazy shit. I mean, maybe not for you because it's, going to a different school in Otago, but like, I'm going to fucking Wellington if I'm going.
I mean, you're going quite.
Well, I might not get in.
Why?
I don't know. They could be like, "Hey, man,
it's not like competitive to get in."
I don't know, man. I don't know.
No.
I don't want to like say, I'll get in, and then like I don't get in, and I'm like, well, now I just have to kill myself.
No. I
I
mean,
don't know.
like,
I could see
you almost
myself getting
guaranteed,
rejected.
you almost guarantee a spot from what I've heard.
Hmm.
Like, I haven't applied for my Otago thing yet, and a bunch of people I know have.
Okay,
So
but
we
what if I
should.
didn't get a hall of residence actually?
Oh yeah, I can see you not. Oh, they fill up quite quickly, and you have to like write like a detail thing. It's a pain in the ass.
I've already what do you call it? Applied. They
But
haven't.
normally there's like a cheap like upper lower middle class one you can go for, like Unipol in Dunedin, which isn't like pretentious like Arana or I can't even what are the other ones? Arana, I don't know.
Salmon.
Yeah.
Is it
something
Vernon?
other. No, Vernon's a college.
I thought it was another one down here called Vernon.
No, it's about 12 of them.
Yeah, it's a decent amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Apparently, it's one thing that's different. Like they're very enclosed, like groups, kind of. They don't really interact a bit.
Yeah, and they're like really spread out as well. Whereas like Wellington is all kind of like none of us want to have to migrate through this like pain of a city that's around the university, and so like it's all pretty close. Like if you're looking at the walks between like the main first year campus, like it's pretty much all the same. Like it's 5-minute difference at most.
I'm gonna buy a bike for next year, I reckon. Because like the idea of me having cars, great, but I wouldn't be able to afford petrol because I don't have a job.
I mean, you wouldn't really have anywhere to park. Oh, I guess if you're living at home, but if you're trying to drive down to uni, you wouldn't have anywhere to park it.
It's just like football training, squash, futsal, all other shit I'm doing.
Mom.
I need transport. I mean, like, I feel like she should be okay with that. It's like something to do for her, but no.
I'm a grown adult, but like, drop me off at the footy practice, Mom.
Exactly. No.
You could try busing down.
No, I don't like buses. I want to get a bike.
Wow. What's wrong with the glorious tapestry of people you meet in a bus?
I don't know. It's not. It's just a waste of money as well.
That's pretty cheap if you get a bus card now.
Yeah, but if I'm like the dream next year is to spend like as little money as possible so I can flat second year.
Right. You gonna get a job?
Yeah. Don't know where. Don't know why.
Yeah, I'll totally have to get one too to be able to flat next year because fucking Wellington.
Like I want to get all my like clubs and like sports sorted. Then like what little like time I have left, I'm just gonna get a shitty job.
You work at the countdown. It's not far.
Yeah, but then I have to work with people I don't like.
I hate to break it to you, Liam. I think that'd be most kind of jobs that you'd be getting.
No, I like most people I know. Like most people I'm fine with. It's just people I already know.
Right, and you know people that work at the countdown, and you'd be like, man, I'm about to shoot this place up.
I mean, Liam Bass works there. That's enough.
Ooh, bro, you can't go there.
Yeah.
That is like saying that it's infested with fucking SARS or something.
Yeah.
It's a no-go.
Yeah, no. I think Veggie Boys in the morning, cause like after uni probably won't have any time.
Veggie Boys would be good. You could get like that staff discount and get even cheaper vegetables somehow.
Yeah.
They'd probably start paying you to take the vegetables away. Yeah, they'd be like, Liam, this vegetables are about to go off.
There's only like if it's in the morning, they wouldn't be going off in the morning, would they? It'd be like after.
Yeah, if you work like the night shift, they'd be like, Liam, listen here, bro. We got a bunch of avocados that are about to go off. You gotta go home and make some guacamole.
Guacamole.
God,
avocados are overrated.
Really?
Yeah.
I rate them pretty highly. I think they're pretty nice.
Nah.
You got anything to back this up?
Oh, just personal opinion. It's not my personal opinion about Drake.
Oh. Do you see that Xanthi's been fucking saying?
No.
Oh my god. So much better.
Does she like CLB?
Yeah.
Ew.
She brought it up at the dinner table. She's like, Quinn, have you listened to Donda? Like, yeah.
Donda's good.
She's like, did you like it? Yeah. Have you listened to Certified Lover Boy by Drake? I'm like, no.
The thing I hate about that album is that all of the features are better than Drake. Like, without exception.
It's like when Eminem came back from like a long hiatus and he just had like a feature on every single track and he barely did anything. He was just like, yeah, carry me. Make me relevant again.
No, he had like Lil Baby on one of his tracks. Lil Baby was better than him, and it's like, it's shit. Like there was one good song I liked. It was what do you call it? You only live twice. That was good. I don't mind that. But I think Lil Wayne carried that.
Yeah, I saw this one clip of like these Drake fans talking on Reddit, and it was and someone said 15-year-old Kanye fans are in shambles. And then someone responded back with like the capitalized, uncapitalized text that is like supposed to be like sarcastic. Yeah. At least Kanye doesn't groom minors.
Not wrong. He's not wrong.
And then someone responded to him and said, "For real, everyone likes minors, but they want to treat Drake like the devil for it."
It's the fact that he's been such a little bitch for like the past 5 years and it's insane. Yeah. Who did that diss? It was like Ooga Booga, Drake has a son he doesn't want. I can't remember.
It was Kanye maybe.
No,
it was someone else entirely. Oh no, it was some random ass dude who like, you know, one of the names that you like hear every like once in a blue moon and never remember. And it was Drake's got a son he doesn't know about and shit like that. And then Drake was like, like doxed him or something.
It was such a little bitch. And then like this current album is all like, I'm a gangster, I don't care what other people say, I am above other people, I'm a tiger, they am like that sheep or some shit like that. And it's like, what the fuck, Drake?
Yeah. Got the fucking like, he's got the heart cut out in his forehead and he's like, I'm a gangster, I'll kill you, bitch.
Like, he's never been a gangster, but he's even less of a gangster now than he was like 5 years ago.
Yeah, because it's like, as well as he bitches about shit, you know, like there's that one interview he was talking about how Kanye fucked with him and he was like, hey, you want a feature on Lift Yourself? And he was like, oh yeah, so I started writing to that, you know, and then in the middle of it, without talking to me, boom, Kanye releases Lift Yourself. And the song is like at the end of it, it's like, this next verse, these bars, boopity scoop, with Drake's verse would have been. And he's like bitching about it on this talk show, and he's like, and they're all like laughing because they're like, man, that's funny. And Drake's just like, no, but this was like a personal, like targeted attack to like manipulate, like break me down, like to kill, like. He's like losing his shit over it. Everyone is laughing. Like all Drake does is like groom minors, fucking cut hearts in his fucking hair. You know, like bitch about Kanye fucking with him. He's such a bitch.
Like,
say that you a lesbian girl, me too.
He just likes his address casually. That's where Drake lives. That's like the level Kanye's on. It's just like, okay, yeah, no, this is where he lives. And then Drake just like, yeah.
How funny would it be if Kanye just like sent people over to fucking just murder Drake? Drake's just like, I'm a gangster, I'll kill you, Kanye. He just actually gets fucking murdered.
Like Scarface. No, like Kanye did ask there's like a weird cult thing going on with him.
I don't doubt that Kanye could actually, like, because Kanye's like bipolar and shit.
Oh, definitely.
He consistently does fucked shit. Like release a whole song where he's like, this next verse, poopity scoop.
I don't think anything's like been like morally bad yet. Like ignoring the drug use and shit. I don't think he's crossed that line yet. Yeah. No.
I don't know. It's just if you had to put money on one, would you put it on the dude that cuts hearts in his hair, releases songs, like releases an album called Certified Lover Boy?
He's also Canadian, quite. Let's not forget that.
He's also Canadian. He looks fucking stupid.
I don't even know what he looks like properly. I remember his like face from Scorpion. That's like
Scorpion would be cool. He doesn't have a scorpion now. He looks fucking lame. He just grooms minors, cuts hearts in his hair, calls himself a lover boy, bitches about Kanye, and then says shit like, "Told me you were a lesbian girl, me too."
That's funny though. That's funny.
I feel like he was serious though. It's a serious song. It is funny, but like at his expense. He's like, oh, dude, Drake a gangster. Say that you a lesbian girl, me too. Like, he's hitting on a lesbian.
No, it was like all the girls from No, it was all the girls from like Toronto are like lesbian. What the guy's doing, some shit like that. It just doesn't make sense. I like it.
Yeah,
but Drake, he still has Paul because he got Travis Scott back. and he got Lil Wayne. Even though Lil Wayne hates his guts, he got Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi hates his guts.
Cuddy.
I say Cudi. It's like Bowie and Bowie.
Yeah.
I'm quirky like that.
But Kid Cudi sounds so good.
Cudi.
Kid
If you have
Cudi.
if you have a stupid name, you can't like expect me to like take it seriously.
I don't know. It's like when he raps it, it's like, I'm a Cudi. The bitches of bourbon. I'm a fucking host. I'm a 730.
No.
Kid Cudi.
But anyway, you see his streams like dropped off the second day. It was like 150 million versus 108 million for Donda. And like the second day, Donda's 112 and he's 80 million.
Yeah, funny.
It's like a bunch of people just like, yeah, no.
Dude, how ugly is that album art though? Holy fuck.
I don't know. Album art's not that bad. I don't think so.
No. Just the art on Certified Lover Boy. It's just those fucking
bad.
Emojis. Oh, dude,
I mean, it fits with the theme. It fits with the theme of the album, and it's not. Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I hate to look at it. It looks terrible.
There's been worse album covers made.
Name one.
Yeah.
Oh, I get your point. But like, it's gross. And he paid like lots of money for it too, because he had to like get it licensed by Apple because it's like their emojis, and they're like, "Well, motherfucker, we ain't gonna let you associate your shit with anything. So we want big money because you're putting it on songs where you'd be talking about how you were lesbian."
I'm surprised Apple just didn't whore ass and be like, "Okay, yeah, we'll do that." Just like releasing Apple Music like a week before Spotify.
Yeah, no, they wanted 1.2 million.
That's not bad.
Yeah, but like it's funny. You paid 1.2 million dollars for that ugly fucking album art. Meanwhile, Kanye is getting better streams than you with a fucking black box. Black the fuck out.
He's not the first. Like, I think I don't know. I don't like the album art for Donda just because Kanye's album art's always really consistently good. Like, Life of Pablo's got amazing art, and so does 808 Heartbreak. Yeah. Even Jesus is King with like just the blue record's kind of sick.
I kind of rate some of the merch that came out of Jesus is King. Because like some of it was like, oh my god, Kanye's had a stroke. And some of it was like, I actually kind of like that.
Yeah, it was just like, let's not focus on the material, let's focus on what I'm talking about. Which is why, that's like the theme for the album.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
You know that Jesus is King got like a higher score on some website than Donda?
I can believe that. Jesus is King's a good album.
It got 7.2. Donda got a 6 from these people.
One website gave Peppa Pig's album a 6.5 and gave Donda 6.
That's the same website.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah, they also rated like loads of Taylor Swift albums higher than a 6.
Dude, I don't like Taylor Swift's music, but I can understand why some people like some of her earlier stuff.
I feel bad for, you know that clip where she like gets the video for like the music award, and she like
Beyonce had the best album of the year,
and she like wrote and directed it too, and she wasn't even 18, she was like 17 at the time. She gets up there, she's like, oh my god, this is great. Fucking Kanye comes over to congratulate her. She's like smiling and shit. She like told everyone afterwards that she was a big Kanye fan. And he's like, I want to congratulate you, and then he like turns away from her, and she's like, oh fuck, what's happening? She's about to get shot in the head. He's like, but Beyonce. He like points to it. It's the best music video of all time. Not even just like the best music video this year, of all time. Yeah, you are so undeserving that this music video is the best of all time, and you still beat it, and it's so undeserving.
It was to put a ring on it though, wasn't it? Was that the one he's talking about?
The what?
The Beyonce one, put a ring on it. Where it's just like them in black and white dancing and twerking.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's pretty good. It's a pretty good music video. Yeah. I see where Kanye's coming from.
But yeah, just like Taylor Swift, you can see like you kind of see like in her eyes died a bit, but she like had to just like keep the smile on. And afterwards, they were like, "How do you feel about that?" She's like, "I was a big Kanye fan. I was," and then she like walks off.
I don't know. It's hard to say. I feel like she doesn't like Kanye, but she's getting over it because lots of her friends, like Lord and shit, are friends with Kanye. Like,
dude,
on,
Lord
like,
is like
terms.
Dude, Lord has dropped one too many tabs of acid.
Has she?
She has these music videos, you know, like Genius and all that.
Yeah.
It's like she does like this sort of it's set up like a Genius interview, and I think it is with Genius, but they've used the footage from it for their advertising, and it's like these ads on TikTok. And she is like sitting in front of this camera, and she has this like it looks like she's had bad work done or something on this like big smile of hers. It's really creepy.
That's what South Park was putting fun at. She just naturally looks like that.
Yeah. And she kind of like looks at the camera really intensely. And she had this sort of like this wonky top. Like the top was just like really slanted. It was really weird. And she just talks to the camera like, my new album is coming out and shit like that. And she like sings some of it as well. And she's like, ladies, begin your sun salutations, transcendental in your meditations.
That was a shit album.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt it's a bad album, but like just the advertising for it was like, are you about to like walk out of the screen and shoot me or something? You know, you're gonna like inject me with some fucking poison and like take me somewhere, Lord? Looking kind of sus.
But it was such a cliche thing. And the entire album was, I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be famous. I don't like what fame is. I don't like how celebrities are cult figures. But then like,
it was her first song even.
What?
First song she got popular for, Royals.
Yeah,
it was about how she wanted to be famous, but she never would be. Oh well.
Yeah, it was a very like cliche album. It had like a couple of good songs, but then also like Stoned at Vanilla Salon, which is shit.
And I mean, it's a message that's been echoed throughout like fame for yonks.
Thousands of years.
Yeah, and it's been done way better.
There's a famous Roman poet Virgil. His like last writing, whatever they call it, was just about how he doesn't like his groupies. how he is like a 68-year-old like famous writer was having too much sex and how he doesn't like it.
It's kind of like me and my private account.
Yeah,
I'm just like, I hate half of you fucking people. It's like 14 people. I don't even hate half of them. I don't think I hate any of them. But I'm just like, I hate half of you. Work it out. Do the math.
Half of you are going to die, half of you are going to survive.
The joke is that I don't kick off any of you, and you perpetually wonder if I hate you.
At least your Blythe, in which case I make that very abundantly obvious.
Oh, there's one time in art history, I was like talking to someone about something, and Blythe was like, "Oh yeah, you talked about that on your private account," and I was like, "I thought I removed you from that." She kind of went quiet. And I got on my phone and removed her. She hadn't been removed.
I don't know if it's safe to talk about Blythe for this podcast, so let's just talk about like something else.
I feel like we are like 40 minutes in now.
Yeah,
no, we're like 32 minutes in. At this point, if you're still listening, Blythe, it sucks to be you. In the same way that it sucks to have your whole committee thing ruined for the whole year.
Like, the magazine's going to get published. I'm pretty sure. The magazine,
yeah. It's whether the year 13s get a yearbook or not. That will not be happening. I can tell you that shit right now because we fucking wasted half of the year.
I mean, I've wasted half the year as well doing nothing.
Yeah, but the difference is that
I would say
you didn't have a yearbook to get made in that time.
Three quarters of all my class time has been nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've been close to the 4/5.
I mean, yeah, because I feel that. It's like I have RE study, regular study, which is like I have a surprising amount of studies. I think it must be like, I think study must be my one, subject that like gets an extra period every fortnight.
Oh yeah.
Because I do too much study periods, and then I have like media, which can honestly be anything. Yeah, and then it's like English. It's very relaxed. Art history, pretty relaxed. Photography. RE is like a whole nother study period.
I can't relax in RE because I've got Jago to the left of me.
It's like having a shark next to you. You're in a cage and you get the shark.
I don't know.
But the cage is actually just like made out of bamboo.
Bamboo. And like, have you seen that torture where like the bamboo grows through you?
There's an even worse one because like it was the Japanese in like World War II.
Is that the one where they had the Vietnamese had that in the first side of Vietnam War?
Oh, I always heard about it as Japan used it in World War II.
The Japanese were cunts in World War II.
So they had to be put down.
No, I was reading a book called The Tokyo Trial, and I'm like 200 pages into it, and they did some shit.
Yeah.
They did all these experiments on like humans, and like the deal was like America wanted to get that data, but like they would like freeze people, see how long, like what temperatures people died at and shit. And America's like, that's really interesting to us. We want that. And there's the Japanese guys in charge of all like the tests and shit. Was like, you can have it, but I have to be alive. And he threatened to burn it. So like they let this guy go.
I get that. I do the same thing. Smart dude.
And that's how they figured it out. You know how in what's that movie where the guy goes to Alaska into the wild?
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, like he dies because he eats potato seeds. Apparently, and they only know that because that's what all the Japanese would feed their prisoners during World War II. And it turns out that that leads to like a toxic growth in bacteria in people, which can kill them.
Wow.
Yeah. The more you know. The more you know.
I'm pretty sure some of that, like, like the end of World War II, where they were doing the human experiments and got nuked, was like some of the inspiration for Akira, actually.
Oh yeah.
Because like that movie begins with like a nuke. Well, not a nuke in Akira, but like a nuke,
Oh, the Japanese are still dealing with that now, eh?
Oh god, yeah.
It's a little bit traumatic.
Funnily enough, I do think that being nuked would leave a bit of a lasting impact on your country.
Oh man, they deserved it.
Well, they were doing terrible shit, but I don't think the civilians deserved it.
Oh no. It wasn't just like it was like Nazi Germany, where like a large portion of the citizenry was on board with what was going on.
On board.
Like that, yeah, well, not with.
It's the difference between being on board and deserving to be nuked.
I mean, are you arguing against the death penalty, Gordon?
Yes.
Okay, never mind.
I've got you now, Quinn. You don't believe the death penalty, fucker.
No, but in like a strategic war point of view, it was the right decision to drop the nuke, and you could argue it was.
Yeah. Well, there's a little bit of debate because it was either drop the nuke now and finish it very quickly, or take another potential like 1.5 to 2 years to finish it off. Yeah. So it depends how you look at it, but yeah.
Nah. I mean, it saved like 500,000 Americans. Fun fact: the Medal of Honor, which is like the Americans' like highest decoration, all the like Medal of Honors that are given out were made in 1945 in preparation for the invasion of Japan. Because they thought so many people were going to die, so they just made like a crap load of them, and then like Japan surrendered, and then they had like the surplus. So all the Medal of Honors that are given out to this day are like 78 years old.
Wow. I'm pretty sure they fucked up where they dropped the nuke though, didn't they?
It was a cloudy day, so they, instead of going to one of the cities, they went to Hiroshima instead.
Because they were going to drop it closer to like a military thing, weren't they?
I mean, it was a military target. It was on the port of Hiroshima.
Yeah, I just think their first target was supposed to be less civilian-y, wasn't it?
Well, they also dropped, like a week before, they dropped pamphlets over like all the major Japanese cities saying, we are going to drop, I'll Google what it said, but it was like, it's like, how do you express what a nuke is when no one's ever seen a nuke?
We're going to drop a big-time bomb.
And like,
it's like some terrible Japanese translation. We drop big bomb.
Compared to the American firebombing, the nuclear bomb wasn't the worst that happened to Japan. Because like in Japan, like to deal with earthquakes, all the houses are built out of like paper and wood and stuff, so like they don't collapse. So when America started bombing Tokyo in '44, they used fire bombs, and it spread really easily. And in one night, you had like upwards of 200,000 people dying. And the nuclear bombs about 33,000.
The warning leaflets. I found it. Yeah. The warning leaflets. Oh yeah, it said, read this carefully as it may save your life. Oh my god. To the Japanese people, America asks you to take immediate heed of what we say on this leaflet.
Prompt
oh my fuck, dude. And they had a photo. They had a photo of like of a nuclear test. Yeah,
because they did one in the desert before in 44 maybe.
Yeah. And it said we have a single atomic bomb, the equivalent to 2,000 of our B-29s can carry on a single mission.
Yeah.
Yeah. This awful fact is one for you to ponder, and we solemnly assure you it is grimly accurate. Oh my fucking god.
Yeah. I mean,
we've just begun to use this weapon against your homeland. If you still have any doubt, make inquiry as to what happened to Hiroshima. Oh, this must have been after Hiroshima.
It must have been. No, they dropped one on Hiroshima as well. They definitely did that.
No, but it says here, make inquiry as to what happened to Hiroshima when just one atomic bomb fell on that city. So Hiroshima was the first. They must have dropped this and then dropped the second.
No, they did one to Hiroshima as well. To the Japanese people, America is the same format. We are in possession of the most destructive explosive device by man. A single one of our newly atomic bombs. Blah 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 blah. Before using this bomb to destroy every resource of military. Yeah, no, they did too. One from Nagasaki as well.
Yeah, I think this was before dropping it on Nagasaki, right?
Well, Hiroshima was the first one, and this is the Hiroshima leaflet here that I've got.
Yeah, that's what I've got too. It says that we have bombed Hiroshima and we're going to bomb somewhere else, which was Nagasaki.
My one doesn't mention that.
Oh, here we go. The historical record is unclear, but it seems as though these leaflets did not make it to Nagasaki until after.
That's rubbing salt in the wound, eh? Oh. Yes, nukes.
Oh, sorry, did not get the memo, man.
It's interesting because I was watching a documentary about Japanese culture after the American occupation, and they really loved wrestling because there's this one big Japanese guy, and he would always get like these white Americans, and the white Americans were always like cheating in his wrestling fights, but he would always win somehow in the end.
Wow.
So this Japanese got beating up all these white Americans was like a way of catharsis for them.
It's like cheating white devils.
Yeah, and that led to like the popularization of wrestling, like WWE, which spread to America in the 80s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Oh my god, dude. The consequences of dropping that bomb. Randy Orton.
There's so many fucking books written about that.
Yeah.
I've got one by one of my favourites, Oliver Stone, which is The Untold History of America, and he goes like deep down the rabbit wow. Because 10 days prior to the bomb being dropped, the Soviets invaded Manchuria. And that some people speculate that the Japanese would have surrendered anyway because the Soviets were invading them. So like that's part of the argument against the bomb. Like they would have surrendered anyway. And like people say that was just America's way of like scaring the Soviet Union, be like, "Ooga booga, we have a bigger stick than you," which is food for thought.
I've been playing Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh yeah, that's a good game.
Very, very fun times. I had this idea to put a smoke grenade in the back of my car and then see if I could like sneak my way through like a enemy compound. It's like a big ball of smoke.
Did it work?
If I drove too fast, the smoke would dissipate. And so I kept like edging along so I could have a big cloud, and these people would be like, "Huh? What's that big smoke cloud?" But they wouldn't see me. And then eventually, there was like a dude standing in the road, and he was like, "What's this big smoke cloud?" And I was like, "Well, I have to run this guy over, and if I don't go fast enough, it won't kill him." So I sped up, and like all the smoke dissipated, but they still couldn't see me because like I must have had this like radius around what you could see in this, smoke grenade that was still chilling in the back. So I just drove through the whole compound with this smoke grenade on me, and it was so easy.
Not that.
Yeah, it's very good. It's another time I had to get like one dude out of a compound, but like I was like, I kind of want to go like really, really cheap. So I gave myself like basically nothing going in. And then with a pistol, like default pistol, and like picking up enemies' weapons, I had to kill every single guy in there because I got found too soon, and I couldn't extract my one guy, and so I had to kill everyone up until this one guy was left.
I've never understood why they don't like execute the hostage once they know you're trying to get them.
He wasn't a hostage; he was a soldier. I had to I had to get the soldier. But I think probably because it's a war crime.
Yeah, that's the Soviets. They don't care about war crimes.
It's the Soviets, and there's a second army in the game because there's the red guys and there's the blue guys. I'm not sure. I mean, the other army's in Africa, so I'm not sure historically what kind of.
I don't think African warlords have ever respected the Geneva Convention.
No, they weren't warlords. They were like some other country that was like, "Hey, bro, we're gonna hang out in Africa, do some African shit."
Who was an African one? Africans.
I think it was Angola, Zaire.
Zaire is the Congo.
Zaire, so it's in the Congo. Yeah, I don't think it was like the Congo forces though.
Yeah, the Congo weren't, historically speaking, they weren't very human rightsy.
What are the two armies? Oh, bro.
And Angola was embroiled in a vicious civil war for 10 years. And the Cubans, being shit-stirrers, decided to send over a couple thousand Cuban soldiers. So you had like Cubans, racist South Africans, Angolan revolutionaries, and British soldiers fighting, which was quite funny.
Hilarious. Sounds very funny.
I don't know. Well, quite quirky in terms of geopolitics. Quite the geopolitical anomaly.
It was pretty quirky. It's an interesting way of putting that again.
Well, it was just interesting how regional conflict blooms into a much larger input. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I have no clue either. I'm just trying to figure out which two armies were in Metal Gear Solid 5, and it's not telling me. It's like, hey bro, do you want to hear about Zanzibar land?
Zaire. That's where Muhammad Ali fought Cassius Clay in the Rumble in the Jungle.
Metal Gear Solid 5 Africa Army?
The leader of Zaire used to wear leopard print jackets. It's quite eccentric.
Wow. Africa Army. Oh my fucking... Dude, it won't just like tell you. It's like... Here we go. Rogue... the CFA. Oh, it's the Contract Forces of Africa. So it's not even like a country. It's just like a private military.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what, like, in Africa they had soldiers of fortune, which is basically just like ex-military veterans would just go to Africa and fight for like whoever would pay them the most.
That shit's interesting.
And the CIA would like pay for their group of people, and the Russians would pay for their group of people. And to this day, there's a group of Russians who fly these big planes in Congo and like traffic diamonds and shit.
I do need to go to the bathroom though, so like keep filling up this podcast here.
Oh yeah, and there's this pale white skinny guy from Vice who went to the Congo to like talk to these Russians who some of them didn't know that the Soviet Union stopped existing because they've just been in the Congo for the past like 40 years flying planes. They're quite bummed out when they found out that it didn't exist anymore. And it was just, yeah, it was like that meme with the girl on the couch with the 6 black guys behind it. But it was like 1 white guy and 6 big Russian pilots. And it was like quite awkward. But it was interesting. So we give him a pass. Why are we silent, by the way? Quinn Wilson. The enchant. Did you know that for The Godfather Part 2, Part 1, Marlon Brando didn't accept his Oscar because he was a hippie grouch, and instead he got this Dakota Sioux lady to go up and protest, and it was like the Kanye West, George Bush doesn't care about black people, but instead it was Richard Nixon doesn't care about indigenous people. The more you know. Did you know that the catfish is the only animal to naturally have an uneven number of whiskers? A zookeeper in Brussels first noticed this in the 90s when he looked at a sample of 7 catfish and found they all had odd number of whiskers. That's the catfish one. What's some more facts? Did you know Manchester United's title-winning season in 1999 was the only season when the title-winning side spent $0 on transfers, with Manchester United's previous signing of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Ian Wright happening in the summer of 98. This is unique because the Premier League is often considered to be a spend-to-win league, but as the great Alex Ferguson proved in his 5 title-win seasons between 2001 and 2009, money does not make man, whatever that saying goes, maketh. Because good old Alex Ferguson had an average spending of over $12 million per summer, with the exception of 2002 where he signed Rio Ferdinand for $40 million. Whereas other main title contenders, Liverpool, Chelsea and Arsenal, spent on average £48 million per summer window. This just goes to show how cool Man United is, and how how cool they are. If someone's listening to this, I don't know what Quinn's gone. I think he said something about to keep on talking, but I can't remember what he said. So I'm just like sitting here twiddling my thumb watching a video of people drawing large phalluses in the snow. It's quite funny. I think they're in Canada. I'm now looking at a picture of a cat who's hugging a gear stick while this guy's going downhill. And yeah.
Running out of things to say?
No, I can go all night. I'm talking about football.
Football. It's like the bog standard whenever I leave. Do you think we'll get another message from, what's her name? Oh, what is her name? Ashley Johnson. At the DILF podcast, now that we've started up again.
Doubt it, Con.
Now, this is really your last warning to change your name, okay, before we get our lawyers.
Funny. How funny would it be, bro?
That'd be very funny.
How funny would it be?
It was like the last one was like, this is your very, very last warning. The next email you get will be a cease and desist letter.
It's like the Mission Impossible thing. This message will self-destruct in like 10 seconds or whatever.
We like covered our ears. It just fizzled out after 10 seconds.
My favourite one's in Mission Impossible 2 where he's just climbing up the cliff and he gets like a phone call from like Alec Baldwin, whatever, and he's just like, Ooga booga. And he's like, by the way, your sunglasses will self-destruct in like 10 seconds. Well, that. And he's like hanging onto a cliff with one hand. It's just so stupid.
Where is she? I was thinking we could be able to. We could try and get what's it? Who's it? Come home. Dark. Coming home in Hindi. It's not what I wanted. Coming home in the dark. We could try and get the director from Coming Home in the Dark, James Ashcroft.
Doubt that immensely.
I don't know. He's 43. He just made a new movie. Oh shit! This is the dude that made Black Sheep, I think. No way. No way. I think he might just be an actor on it. No, I have no clue how he's involved with that. Oh, he was also involved with that terrible Catwoman movie. Wow.
That's funny, bro.
It was hot. I'll give it that.
No, if it wasn't the category of so bad, it's funny.
You're probably right.
It's funny.
Has 1 out of 5, 9%. Pretty agreed upon. Did he do this one then? Fresh Meat. No, he didn't even do that. This is like his first film, Coming Home in the Dark. I reckon we could find him, dude. James Ashcroft. We get him on the podcast.
You might have to lie about like figures and stuff.
I think a good one to say would be like, "Hey man, we've interviewed Gillian Horvat, who made one of the top indie horror movies this year. She's actually doing pretty well, that movie."
Would you call that a horror movie?
Yeah, because it's like about serial killing and stuff like that, and it's shock value. I would call it a horror movie. Gillian Horvat.
Spell it G or J?
Gillian with a G, Horvat like Horvat. See how I Blame Society is doing. I mean, I Blame Society is just going up and up, to be honest. Yeah, it's got like a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes now. Yeah, I don't know. It's been on a few lists as well.
Lists.
Well, no, like things on Letterboxd and things like that for like best indie horror movie, or like just horror movie of the year and things like that.
Oh yeah.
So like,
I'm not a big horror movie guy, to be honest with you. More into what do you call it? What genre would you say Grown Ups is in?
Comedy?
Comedy? Would you call it comedy?
Offbeat comedy?
I don't know. Whatever genre it is, that's what I'm into.
I don't know, what genre would you call this? It does seem a little bit, yeah. I guess just, like wholesome, like family comedy.
Do you call it wholesome?
To a degree. It had a message, it had a wholesome message.
My favourite part of the movie is when this like fucking fat guy pretends to be a yoga teacher and gets all the hot mums to like start doing bum squats and just like staring at them.
Yeah, that's a 2010 movie through and through.
Was it 2000? Fuck, it's ages ago, eh?
Yeah. No, I reckon we could get James Ashcroft on here. I think the
Yeah,
funniest thing
right.
about the other DILF podcast trying to shut us down, right, is
Yeah.
that, like, I'm a very, very spiteful person. There's a reason at the start of this podcast I said we should make our motto driven by spite, powered by spite. Because, like, I only got us to start doing this podcast because we made the channel before they started doing their podcast, but we never actually uploaded anything to it. And I uploaded, forced us to record and uploaded the first episode when I found out that the other podcast was, like, actually doing something with their channel. And I was like, ooh, we could have been better. And then, once again, she emailed and was like, motherfucker, change your name. And I was like, no, I don't think I will. I was like, oh, I will. And then I found out I didn't have to. And I was like, oh.
Frank, you my dear. I don't give a damn.
I was like, well, I'm not doing that anymore. And then she, like, emailed again and was like, why'd you change it back? And then it was like, after that, I was like, oh, fuck you bitch. And so I put us on all the other platforms as well. After that.
Maybe when we watched Gone with the Wind the other day, it's fucking awful.
Oh no, it wasn't even that. It was like a whole nother step. It was after that I did all our branding again to look even smarter, and then she sent another email threatening legal action, and that was when I put us on all the platforms. And then she sent another one after that, really threatening legal action, and I didn't respond to that one because we had nothing more to do. We just kept doing it weekly, and now I've noticed that they've just overtaken us in the amount of episodes they have, and I was like, start it back up.
To Batmobile.
Exactly. I just love those.
Cool. We need to find a table that we can like set up the camera and shit. Set up the laptop on for the podcast.
I just have to figure out how to make my camera record longer.
Yeah. We can always use a laptop camera. I bring my MacBook along and record on your laptop. My MacBook is just getting video.
Oh my god, I'd love for a second email. Quinn, I was just starting to like you. I see that you not only switched YouTube back to the DILF podcast, but you also created an Instagram.
Very successful Instagram as well.
And I responded with one like the copy paste ones. It's just like, haha, thanks. I love this one. It's the final law blah 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 threatening thing. Legal team. Hi Quinn, I know you think that this is some kind of joke, but I want you to know that this is not going away. I've spoken with our legal team, and before this elevates into a much larger issue, we have one final option for you. Revise the name of your YouTube channel and Instagram. See, that they didn't find out about all the other places we have our fucking podcast. To simply DILF. As long as the word podcast is not in the channel titles, we are okay with it. I thank you for your time. One of the copy paste responses is thoughts.
Because somehow over the last like 28 days, we've still got half an hour of people watching our content.
That's weird. Who the fuck is watching this shit?
Live.
It's like scoping through for bad words about her. Should be pretty thrilled with this one then.
I don't know. I feel like I'm safe in this one. I feel like Blythe has laid down the gauntlet to me by a wee bit because she did not tag me in a formal picture. Like the entire cast of geography, but not me and Jago.
That's so weird, though. It's almost like it was intentional.
I don't mind sharing that sort of company. I'm quite proud of that. But,
as well as it's pretty public, isn't it? It's like, oh, who are these two dudes? Why weren't they tagged?
Blythe.
How you feel about lockdown ending?
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, more or less. I mean, lockdown's pretty easy going as is, but I've been pretty unproductive. Like, I get the bare amount of work done, but I don't do as much as I do at school.
Oh, I've done no work at all. I still haven't finished my art history film from fucking ages ago.
Ooh, I'm surprised you're pulling that off, to be honest.
She asked for when she gets back to school, so I'm just gonna do it tomorrow.
Really?
I've just been sitting outside, on like one of those pull-up chairs, reading books for the past like 3 weeks.
Yeah, I did that a couple of times actually.
So I've read 6 books, which is more than I have for the rest of the year, which I'm quite
Jesus. I read like half The Shining.
Shining is a wee bit of a monster, though. I'll give you some credit there.
Yeah, it's like small text.
If you're not used to that was like peak Stephen King being an insomniac, just drinking large amounts of alcohol.
Well, he wrote it in The Overlook, didn't he?
I don't know. Well, I don't know if it was because it was about his alcoholism. There was like this undertone.
Yeah.
I don't know if he might have been a recovering alcoholic when he wrote it. Can't tell.
I don't think so. I think it might have actually just been like because he said that he does his best work when he's like fucking drunk, and he took a long time to come to terms with not being drunk and writing shit.
All of my favorite books by his are when he's not drunk.
Did Stephen King write The Shining sober? Sober. For a while, he would write sober during the day and then edit what he'd set down while he was drunk at night. Yes, we've got this nice writing all laid out. Time to king it up.
That's what lots of like creative people did back then, though. Because when Barry was doing his Berlin trilogy, he was it was cocaine in the morning, Adderall at lunchtime, and 3 cups of like espresso caffeine at like 9 o'clock at night, and he wouldn't get to sleep till 3, and he'd wake up at 5 the next day. And for like a 4-month period, he got like 2 hours sleep every day. And he called himself the Thin White Joke because like you could see all of his bones and shit because he wasn't eating properly. He's just doing like a crap load of coke and drugs.
Oh my god, that is crazy.
And that's when some of his best albums came out.
Yeah, I can kind of appreciate that dedication though to a degree. Like it's fucked and unhealthy, and it's hard to say how good the art is as a result. But you know, at least there's some kind of real dedication there.
You know, my really religious relatives,
yeah,
the ones who are friends with like that racist or homophobic person in Wanaka.
Yeah.
I had a good conversation with my auntie about psychedelics.
Really?
Like it's coming from the point of view of 2 people who don't know anything about it, but just like know about like the implications and consequences.
Right.
And it's just like an hour of us talking about how like all the creative people have used it and how like they probably help them and stuff. Because like she was reading a book about like cavemen, how they were doing magic mushrooms, and she told me all about it. And apparently like they inspired their cave art, and that started like this tradition of humans like painting and stuff.
It was like some sort of quote I heard. I can't remember it exactly at all.
If you talk to Mr. Jerry again, talk to him about
talk to him about any drug under the sun.
The magic mushroom in the cross.
Okay.
Because one day he asked me, "Oh, Liam, what book are you reading?" And I said that. He like lights up. He's like smiling. He's like, "Oh, I know the one." And it's this. I think he said Hermione read it as well.
Oh, she would have, yeah.
Yeah, and it's about early Christianity and its relationship to psychedelics.
Interesting. Yeah, but it was some sort of quote, and it was like, if being sober and trying to like create things was your brain taking like, you know, things that you see in real life and like mixing them to make something creative, that was like doing it with like a hand beater, you know, like you were just whisking it. But that if you were trying to be creative on psychedelics, it was like you got out the blender.
Yeah.
And you know, that's sort of arguably more original, isn't it? Because it's a lot harder to recognize than the ingredients.
Yes.
I still can't believe we were robbed of that fucking debating one.
Oh, I'm fine with that.
I don't know. It's so raw because it was like we had 1 week to come to terms with it, and then it was like lockdown. And I was like, no, but I want to bitch more.
I know. I feel like I've won things with Kevin this year with football and shit, so I'm not that salty. Yeah.
I think for me it was just because I'd been going all those years, and then I wasn't, didn't go for like a couple of years because like I didn't fit any kind of team, and it was like I finally got back. I was like, captaining one team, coaching another, and I was like, we can fucking do this, and we totally should have won, and then we didn't, and now there's like no mark I was ever there, and it's like,
I wonder. I've got my magnum opus coming up this term if it's not cancelled. They're doing a secondary school history quiz.
Ooh.
I'm assembling the dream team. Ewan Fart Wallace, Jagger Armstrong, Dominic Barlow.
No, dude, I don't know if you'll get those two on the team.
And an unnamed woman for diversity's sake.
Dude, I don't know how well that's going to go. I don't think there'll be a lot of synergy there, if you know what I mean.
It's some of Canada's finest historians.
The interpersonal relationships between that team might crumble.
I think it'll be good, actually.
It'd be like, well, it'd be competitive almost within the team.
No, I don't. I think we have to have a clear structure of who's writing the questions.
Right.
As long as Riley doesn't find a way to know about it.
Oof. Oof.
I don't have him in the team.
Yeah. Speaking of the list of people I'm going to block when I leave Kavanagh.
He'll be at some of my lectures. I just don't want to. I'll have to show up like just before every lecture starts, so I don't sit near him.
Dude.
But,
Do you think
I'm
that?
with
Okay.
saying hi to Riley occasionally because I don't mind him.
So like high school is different than university because in university like things are more open. You could probably get like in general you would have like a wider breadth from Riley. Do you think that in like the small parts where you do have to like have contact with him, you could just be like put your foot down and be like, go away.
No.
Go away. You're not gonna do that to him?
I don't know how university's gonna work for me because I'm not gonna like be coming from out of town and I'm not going to hall residence.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can see myself still kicking around with the same guys from next year, which is kind of scary. I like them, but like, I don't know.
I don't know. It's almost scarier for me not knowing who I'll be talking to in fucking Wellington.
Yeah, no, but you get forced to interact with people. Like you'll be stuck in the hall of residence.
Right. I don't.
So
I mean,
bound.
I've heard like stories from Hermione, who's been like in a hall of residence up there. There are some people who just like never fucking found anyone, and now they're kind of just like outsiders, closed off. You know, they're not even necessarily in their room all the time. It's just that like they're just outsiders. Right. And I'm just like, dude, that could fucking happen to me. It fucking could.
As long as you do like clubs and shit, you'll be fine.
Clubs. I could do clubs.
Like I'm doing tramping club and debating. And you get to meet
interesting people.
Yeah, all the people who've judged us over these years.
Finally get to see in their brains and find out they're stupider than us.
The guy who drew a picture of Elizabeth Ordis as a Nazi.
Yeah, I didn't draw them, bro. I photoshopped them. It was technical expertise.
Nah,
I mean, they were real. People. They were real.
They were real.
It's no Photoshop I know you're on about.
I'm tempted to join the Labour Party just to fuck off some of my relatives, but at the same time,
it'd be very funny.
It's time commitments.
Yeah. No, I still remember when I drew. We were in the middle of that debate, and I was like, "Well, I know what we're gonna say, and what we're gonna say is pretty outlandish. So I'm just gonna draw like a picture of Stalin." And then the moderator was like, "Hey man, could I like get that picture of Stalin?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, man." And then he was like talking to the other team, and I swiped it before we walked out, and he was like, "Where'd it go? Where'd it go?" And I was like, "I don't know, man. I put it there." And he's like, "Oh, where'd it go?" And I was like, "Bye." I fucking walked out with it and I put it in the trash.
Oh god. I think this is the end of our podcast. It's like
yeah,
10.
We've gone over time.
I'm gonna go watch Grand Design now on TV and see on demand.
I'm gonna go finish a tactical mission in Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Penis.